Well, hello and welcome back again to Pete's Model Car Customs. Bit of a surprise uploading to this quickly after such a long break. But I thought as I had these kits out, I'd better have a proper sort of look at them in comparison. And there was a few other pointers I wanted to go over anyway, discovering more and more about the kit. One of them's the glass. The rear panel for glass is quite an amazing thing. If I just grab the bag, especially the rear panel, which is this. A few little scuff marks on this, but it's somewhat bigger than the hole, and that's just gone off screen, hasn't it? Rotate that. That's quite a difference in size and shape. I thought I had the wrong sprue in there. That is quite an amazing panel, and I've compared both kits' glass, that they're identical. Where I've done the A-pillar repair, I've reinforced the pillar, so this no longer fits in the original car, but I do wonder whether it will fit in this one. And there's a few other points I'll go into there. So that fits in like that, and gives you, that's not a bad fit, is it? On the inside, that feels quite comfortable in sort of, there's no locating parts. And I would sort of tend to draw a line there and put in some dummy sun visors to make a locating point for that to then butt up against. It looks quite okay. Ooh, got a corner gap going there. If try it further down, right, get that located. There's a bit of a, looks like a corner gap in this corner, but yeah, because there's a little bit of a recess in there, but not much of one. Maybe a bit of sanding would get that down. But on the blue one, where I've repaired the A-pillar, I've put in some reinforcing bars that will, come here you bugger. Oh, I've just taken the back on. Wonder if that will show up. Woo. In there's a piece of half round that I've backed up the joint with, and the same on the other side. Thank you. Now, as you can see in there. So when I come to fit the piece of glass, which I've now lost, idiot, I'll have to sand down either side to get that to fit again. But I want to reinforce the roof as it's got a crack in it, and when I go to do any of the further bodywork that I want to do, I'm going to repeatedly break this. So get that again, and it's still got in here, that's feeling a comfortable fit, but there's still that gap up in that corner there. Well, just about get rid of it if you're pushing, so that might get rid of that, and a bit of sanding down the edge. I'll sand this to really fit into the space I've got there. But it's reinforcing the A-pillar on this is quite a good thing to do if you're repairing a pillar, because it also gives you something that's relatively straight and unbroken. You could if you've got enough space on a bigger pillar, use a brass rod or a piece of a paperclip, like you would make a door hinge from. A little bit of light sanding, I can feel a bump there, and you can see there's a little but that feels like it's the weld material of the joint together. Back there, I've flared out the arches on this using a pair of pliers that are like this, wherever you are. They sort of taper round cones, and I've slowly gone round, grabbing a piece and tweaking it like that, all the way around, following the guideline I put in. In fact, I know I've got to change a bit there and bring that up, but this is now going to be part of the inner arch. In fact, this might not even exist. I think I might cut them further out, but I want to try and bring that up and out, and by doing lots of little tweaks like this, I just squeeze it enough to spread the styrene a little bit, and it will help the flare develop out the side. I'm working my way along. You don't want to get it too angular. So these being not really, you know, you've got a lot of sets of pliers. That's a really sharp cut, but this has got a nice rounded nose. So that sort of bit of radius, that's got to come up a little bit. I'm going to slowly bring that up, but by squeezing it a little bit, you're stretching the plastic, the styrene, and that will aid the bend. Getting there a little bit more. And it's better to do loads of little tweaks than try to do in half a dozen, because it will just munter up. Great word, munter. Good English word there. I won't tell you what it really means. But I do like these. I much prefer actually Torinos and what are the other ones? Cougars to Mustangs. Pop that back on there. I'm trying to get the sit of it all right. As I was saying about the wheel conversion there, there's another way of doing it. Offset the pin a bit, and that will rotate round and go lower. Taping that, I want to see how well that does or doesn't fit. And the same with the hood. I did notice a difference in the hood. This is all the new parts, and getting hairier with the dog's hairs, and the hood from it in comparison to an old hood. Now I think the mouldings on there are more defined on the older one, and I don't know whether I can get them at all a shade in. Might be an optical illusion. Yes, I think it might be. Yeah, at that angle they look pretty well defined on both hoods, bonnets. But there's a lot of flash now developed which doesn't even feel as though it was on there. But there's quite a lot of flash in that corner. So that's going to infringe what is already quite a tight bonnet hood. Fitting in there. The grill, on the other hand, is a really sloppy fit in that hole. It's a gaping chasm. I haven't taken the new one off the sprue because my plans with this doesn't need to go that far at the moment. But I've gone round and highlighted where all the problem points are. Problem is not really the right word. Can't think of a better one at the moment, sorry. Round 2. But you know, they still got the basic moulded in nearly everything. Luckily it doesn't have the exhaust moulded in, so you can move the exhaust about. The way I converted the rear on this one, I can still fit my brake ducts in. I still haven't prepared any of the back of that axle, but the brake duct part still fits in, but you have to just drill a hole in the bottom of the axle that is marked on the inside, down the bottom there. You see the shadow of the hole. Drill that hole out and that duct part fits in, and still does with the conversion I've done to change the wheelbase. Like I said, there's quite a few differences on this blue one. It's got no door handles, no badges, no side indicator markings, nor trim up the top. It's all been stripped off prior to my owning it, and using this blue as a primer will help me finish off my bodywork and use it as a prep, so that's all quite handy. It's definitely an acrylic. Looking at the new version, there's a lot of flash along there. Rather soft Cobra badges on the side. This could do with the etch set that there is with the Cobra badge on it. And these are very soft. I don't know what they were like originally because they've been sanded off of the other one. Same with the reflector indicator side marker at the rear. At the front, on mine, on the blue one, shall we say, the front side indicator marker lights have been sanded out, but they are there. Hopefully there's enough sort of flash to hold a better fit of a grille in here. If I take this one out, I can sort of see, and it's gonna be stuck in too hard. Yeah. This one seems to have a real... Is there a lacking of an infill part, I wonder? Rather than that gap there, get that adjusted up to that level there to get you. All seems rather gappy. Bit of flash in the corner there, underneath that marker light, or whether that's meant to be there and should be a straighter part that will balance that out a bit more. But it's still, I mean, I've got a gaping great hole there, down the side of there with this grill, but that is slightly damaged, I noticed, compared to the other one. One of the bad points here is this is dished in, and it's in the moulding. I'm quite sure whether just warming that up and prizing that back out will cure it, but it does feel there. That's not on there. There's a dished in bit that you can feel with your finger, and it's not on this one. So something's is that too hot when it come out, and it sagged a little bit. Like I say, there's a lot of flash on this, but just along there there's a dished in bit. Still got moulded in wipers. These holes are too small. You need to cut them open a little bit. The washer bag goes all the way down there, and you've got this horrible little radiator. So it's another one to really chop that all out, but you could just grind that away and put up with the radiator. If you leave yourself enough of the bottom pin, you don't need all of that to show you where they are. Cover it up with a piece of strip even, and make it look less like two old screw holes holding the bloody car together. Dinky. Anyway, that's it for the other update on this one. Bye for now. Best wishes from jolly old England.